sure.
Welcome to Wiretapped Truths. My name is Jesse Perez, filming from the backyard of my house. And Leland had to go. He's under the weather. Joined by Jack Simmons today, a
Yes, sir.
comedian on the come up. I saw one of your. I saw Jerry Seinfeld last night. He was awesome, Jack.
Really? Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's right. Where was that?
Beacon Theater.
Uh,
And
uh, cool.
today, today we got a special guest. We got Brook Yeaton, aka White Mike from season 2 of The Wire, but much more than that. Just like just an awesome person, awesome character. And I don't know if this is a jinx or anything, but I'm almost ready to congratulate you on an Oscar soon because I think Sinners is going. I know you just worked on Sinners,
I did.
and for me that's the best picture of 2025. I think you guys are going to get it, man. I really do.
It was awesome. It was a great experience. I loved it. And I tell you,
Yeah.
I got that probably because of The Wire, because I did the interview, and they kept calling me White Mike until like middle of the first week of shooting, and I just rolled with it. I don't care. It didn't say that on my paycheck, so I was fine. But Michael B. and I, that was pretty cool. Haven't seen each other in so long.
Yeah, it's like 20 years later. Like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
that's
How was that
incredible.
reconnection?
It was immediate.
Yeah.
I did all the weapons on the show, so we had to work very close together.
Right.
And he was he's like, every day I was just glad he was there. Do you know? It was a very magical set, which definitely transmitted on the screen, if you ask me.
Yeah, he has that presence that's able to like carry the movie really, and
He
I think you
played
need that for
twins. Twins with
and
two different personalities. Like if that's
Yeah.
not the best acting, I don't know what is, man.
that's really difficult to do.
Yeah, it was very cool. And the technology that we were using is like cutting edge, and it was just awesome to be around.
Could you let me know a little bit, let us know a little, like, because I was curious about that. Did they do a lot of like, do you know if like they did a lot of like split screens or how that was done? Because it was like,
They put this thing on called a halo,
okay,
where it was like all these cameras like mounted on his head, and he would do the scenes over and over, and then I guess in post they just added that in, and he had a great body double, obviously, and he would just do that scene, go change his costume, and then come back on set and just do the other scene. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the editors too, because they have to be able to tell where he was like spatially and everything. So
They were there.
It's always amazing being able to see that like up close.
Right.
Now, you're the props master for The Wire
No, I was
he wasn't the prop
armorer.
master.
I'm sorry.
No,
The
I was
armorer.
the assistant decorator on The Wire, on set dresser on The Wire. I've been a prop master though for like 40 years.
Yeah, my apologies. I was looking at
It's
your
all
IMDb.
good.
I saw like all the different names.
It's
Sorry,
fine.
Jess.
Checks cleared. All those checks cleared.
So Wire fans though, right? I
Right.
know you paid big behind the scenes, but we kind of know you as White Mike, right? The Wire fandom. And it was funny because my first introduction to you, I was like, yeah, man, that was some great acting. You were like, it wasn't really acting, so like, was that just that was just your personality kind of shining through in the White Mike character?
I mean, we wound up shooting like 6 blocks away from my house pretty much. And when we would get to set, I'm still early. I would be there early, and I would talk to everyone in the neighborhood and do everything like that. And I think it was Bob Colesbury or David Simon came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm pretty sure it was Bob Colesbury. Hey, I just want you to read this." So I had sides in my hand, and I read them to him. I think we were in a church or something, on location. And I read them, and he's like, "No, dude, no. Read them like you just were talking to those people on the corner." I was like, "Okay." So I did that, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, okay." And I didn't know what it was. And then all of a sudden, he and Simon, they both came to me and said, "We want you to play this role called White Mike." really wasn't that much of a stretch.
Yeah. Gotcha. So,
Mm.
he has one of the characters. He has like one of my favorite scenes when he calls up, you know, the Sergey, and
Yeah,
he is like, "Did you guys do this?" And Sergey said, "Did he have face? Did he have hands?" Then it wasn't us. I just thought that thought that
Yeah.
was so badass, that line, And it's like, oh, you
I
made, yeah. Go
yeah
ahead.
I remember that day. I had like 102 temperature.
Wow.
I was so sick. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, it was still fun.
Mhm.
I love doing all that stuff.
You have the flu or something, or you just had like
Yeah,
a? Oh
yeah, I
wow.
had the
Okay.
flu.
Well,
Yeah,
what it was like the middle of winter too, right? That was the shoot.
yeah. And season two, we were shooting on the docks
Mhm.
Right.
in Baltimore in February. I mean,
Forget it.
that was for real. I
Yeah.
mean, that was serious.
Yeah, all the cold from the water too, just
Yeah,
over time.
yeah. But I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, for
So,
sure.
the so you could kind of kill a Wire fan theory here, because the conspiracy theorists are out there and stuff.
Oh yeah,
White
they're full
Mike is not
force.
in the pilot episode. That's just you at the bar as a background artist,
You,
and then
you
you
know,
get featured, right?
with David Simon, he's such a freaking genius, dude. I mean, they put me there. They said to sit. Who knows?
Yeah.
I doubt. I highly doubt it. You
Yeah.
know, it was a bar right across the street from where we used to shoot Homicide: Life on the Street, so I was familiar with it.
Okay.
You know, and McNulty and Bunk. I mean, we would hang out a lot. In bars, drinking Jameson, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't remember that. I mean, Jesse, you brought it up to me. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I had no, I
Yeah.
totally forgot about it.
Yeah. So for people that don't know what I'm talking about, White Mike is in the pilot episode, or Brooke is on the pilot episode at the bar with
Maybe
Bunk
it's
and
my
McNulty.
twin.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my twin. Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
It's the
So,
good version.
White Joe. Yeah.
Right, right.
can you tell us your about your can you tell us about your title outside of the actor White Mike? Like, so what was your exact title, and what did you do on behind the scenes and stuff?
On White Mike or
On the
on the
wire.
wire,
Yeah.
I was on set dresser, and then I think it was season 3. I became the assistant set decorator
Okay.
So
because
what does
that's
that
what
entail though? So what's like a day in the life
shopping.
of you?
Like going out to all the thrift stores and dumpster diving. I mean, you all know the look of the show,
Right.
and just acquiring all that kind of stuff, and then working with the set decoration team to put it up on the walls or
Mhm.
throw it in the alleys. Just all the decoration.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff didn't look like it was decoration, because of the subject matter, but everything had a place.
We had to make it look like realistic enough to where it could just be part of anybody's wardrobe. Did you guys have like a few stores in particular that you're like, these are our go-to
Oh
like
yeah,
every time?
yeah. West Side. I don't remember the names, but they were all like West Side. They weren't even thrift stores, man. They were
Okay.
just like junk stores,
I see.
And it was funny because I kind of hung out there as a kid when my
Mhm.
mother would go shopping, and and they were always glad to see me because I was there like every week.
It's like a Goodwill kind of store.
Yeah,
Like,
but much lower.
oh, I see.
Goodwill
Okay.
Goodwill is like upper class bougie compared to
Oh
you
wow.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was great.
Yeah, and
I
they're
had
probably
yeah, I had a lot of fun.
they're probably really happy that you guys were always there too.
Yes.
I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Just like, did you have like specific lists of characters like each day? Like, all right, you got to get these specific. Or I mean, sorry, you were more um, like props and whatnot. But did you have like specific lists every day for like what characters
Yeah.
and whatnot?
Yeah, we'd have a meeting and we'd know what set was coming up, and I talked to
Okay.
John Millard, the set decorator, and it'd be like, we're thinking about this, we're thinking about that, and then I
Mm.
just like go shopping with other people's money.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
It's funny. So we started this podcast, me, Jack, and Leland, 6 months ago. We've been part of a Wire fan group on Facebook. This Wire, all the pieces matter, and we just talk about the Wire like all day. And I was like, "Hey, does anybody want to do a podcast?" And I met Jack and Leland, and they came on, and kind of like so I kind of sent episodes to like Donna Adrian Gibson.
Yeah.
She's like, so I found her on Instagram, and I
Right.
sent her the episode. She's like, I love the idea. I love the podcast. She was like, I'm gonna help you guys get guests. I'm gonna help this show. So we named her the executive producer. And
Oh,
then
dope.
yeah. So
I
then
love
she
that.
helped us get Amanda, and then Amanda helped us get you. And so like you and Amanda, can you tell us about that friendship, that relationship?
Oh, she's like my sister. I mean, I've known her since she's been like, I don't know, 6, 5. She's
Wow.
been she was my, and still is my blood sister's best friend. Um, but she comes on family vacations. I talk to her as much as I can. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like a true brother sister relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When we were going to elementary school, Noah could pick on her, or I'd step in. I mean, totally brother and sister
That's
relationship.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved working with her. Um, my sister was on the show. My blood sister Greer was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my mom's was on the show. It was just, and
Yeah, so
then
I was gonna ask you about that. You come from like family royalty, right? Can you tell us about like your family, your sister and your mom and stuff?
well, we're all part of the like John Waters clan.
Gotcha.
When he used to make movies without any money, and I kind of grew up on set doing all that stuff, and
Pink flamingos.
yeah. I thought that like every family in the summer either went to lacrosse camp or made a movie. Like it was just part of my life. So I love cinema. I love bad movies. I love good movies. Which kind of led me to my position now. I'm the president for the IATSC Local 478 for the all state of Louisiana, Southern Mississippi, and coastal Alabama.
Nice.
So, I'm kind of, I mean, film's always been my life. My first job was working in a little art house movie theater. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and my daughter, she's turning 21. She's in NYU right now studying film.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just what we do. We're the filthiest family alive.
And
I mean,
so
movies are the greatest thing in the world. So that's
yeah.
amazing. For those of you guys that don't know, John Waters. I mean, for those of you who know about John Waters, he is probably like the biggest Baltimore director of all time. I always think of him and Barry Levinson as being the
Mhm.
two Baltimore guys because all their movies are set over there. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. And by the way, I just wanted to mention before what Jesse was saying. I kind of never realized that you were in the first episode. It made me almost think of The Sopranos, how they had the actor from Vito show up later on, like in season 4, and you're like, wait a second, you were the guy. I guess that happens sometimes, right? Sometimes like people they look at someone who's in the back and they're like, actually, you could play a
Well, the
main
Wire's
character.
actually done it a couple times. So Chris Parlow is a court officer in the pilot episode also, and then he
Right. Okay.
comes later on in season 4. And then the lady who Bunk sleeps with the robe, she's Randy's foster mom. So
Okay.
the Wire does do same actor, different person, but they also do remember this character, like when Kennard wanted to be Omar as a little kid and then he ends up killing Omar.
I see.
That's supposed to be Kennard.
Okay.
So that's supposed to be like a little bit of irony there. Um
It
Wire,
happens sometimes, man. Yeah, it's just. I guess it's just like whoever
Brooke,
is
if I'm
there.
wrong about any of this, you can
No,
correct
you're
me.
absolutely right. I mean,
Pretty
we
great
call
insight. Yeah.
we call Baltimore Smalltimore.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that happens. Growing up there anyway. You always run into people, and then all of a sudden, dude, I know you. Like that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's like a big town, but it's also small enough to where it's not like you see a lot of the same people around where you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like right after I got the phone, and it's funny after I started doing the show, like we have such an appreciation for the people that make the movie, like the behind the scenes and the hard work that you guys put in. And like, I pay attention to the credits now. And I just started watching this show on Netflix, Bloodline, and I see your sister like executive. I was like, oh, you did. I was like, I just spoke to Brooke.
Yeah,
saw
that's a
that show.
great show. That's a
Yeah.
great show.
And I'm on season 2 right now. I love
Yeah.
season 1. I got hooked immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So also on this podcast, right? It just started out like one time. I think I asked somebody about Michael K. and it was Chris Clanton.
Mhm.
And he had this conversation with him that he's going to hold near and dear to his heart, he said. And but he told us about like just Michael K. Like on his last scene he fumbled the gun, so like he kept fumbling his lines and fumbling the gun so Chris could like enjoy his last few moments like on the show. And he said that meant something to him. And then when we had Perry on, Perry said that he lived with Michael. And then you just hear like every guest we have on like has this special connection with him, which is like, I kind of told Donna, I was like, he kind of gives me the vibe that he would have been somebody that we reached out to and he would have done the podcast immediately. She's like, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he was magical. I tell you, I was walking in Manhattan. Who do I run into? Him. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just and he's always got time for people.
Very approachable.
He just was fantastic, dude. Really was.
Do you have any special memory with Michael? I usually started asking the guests that now.
Well, the last memory I have, I was the prop master on the George Foreman life story, and he was slated to play his boxing coach. When he passed. So that's like, that was like a thing, you know what I mean? I was so close to seeing him again. But, it's just, I said it about Michael B., but Michael B. was a kid then. He was just someone you wanted to come to set and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
some actors just have that presence that just draws you in,
And so down to earth and just so grateful's the word. You know what I mean? Just real grateful to be working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a shame when like a brilliant artist is taken too soon, and then and like the big George Foreman probably would have been great for that. Now, we did a tribute episode not too long ago. Now, I have a question, a little bit of a different direction, because like I was looking at your IMDb and some crazy classic movies you're doing the property master for instance, like Hairspray or True Lies. But what was it like being the property master on Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare?
When I was a kid, when I was like 16 years old or whatever, and I'm still obsessed with horror movies. I love them. But I wanted to work on a Nightmare on Elm Street thing. And when I did it, it was great. I actually took the glove home and drove with it on. And like, I got an opportunity to design and create that Nintendo Power Glove that he used in that show.
Wow. Okay.
It was just like surreal, So I was like, wow, dude, here I am. First, I'm in LA and I'm working on the Freddy series. I was like, this is the shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That could not be more of an 80s line too of Power Gloves. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out like the to just shift back to The Wire real quick. I'm trying to figure out like the neighborhoods exactly, because I'm from New York. Me and Jack are out here in Long Island. So I was like, where was White Mike and Frog? Was that like just their own like Polish town neighborhood?
I think that was like in the Highlandtown area.
And where's that as opposed to like the east side and the west side and
that's
stuff?
East Baltimore. Like
it's east, right?
Close by the water. Yeah. It's used to be, not really sure now, but like very blue collar. Very, very blue collar. The docks are down the street, form stone houses, all that,
Did you now? For me, like a lot of people love Chris Bauer. I mean, Chris Bauer absolutely kills it as Frank Zabaka.
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of think Pablo Schreiber doesn't get enough credit as Nicky. You know, like did you kind of see that star power in Pablo a little bit? You know.
Dude, we were surrounded by it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the cast.
Mm.
I mean, shit. It was like everywhere you look, and everyone was so cool on set. You know, it was some brutal hours and some weather conditions and all the things, you know, that we go through, but we all hung out hard. I had like groups of people just sleeping at my house on the floor. You know what I mean? It was like, because I live downtown. It was just you know, a lot of the shows, no matter what, you as soon as you wrap, you're like, oh, that was pretty good, even when you're going through hell. But that was fun. I mean, I was young, you know, I was making a paycheck. I was making movies in my hometown. I was surrounded by all these inspirational type people.
Amanda told me there was a lot of hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those long hours too, you know, on set probably just, you know.
Oh yeah, 17, 18 hours, you know, and then always have the energy to hang out afterwards, you know, especially on Friday night, tear it up. You know, we had a bar that had curtains, all black curtains that we could make a phone call and they'd open up for us. You know what I mean? And I remember just like when the doors opened and it was light out, like, oh man, you know, it was fun, you know. But damn, I couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
I did my time.
You're doing your dream, you know. I mean,
I just think that's part of young age too. My bad, Jack. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, you know, I remember my friend was a union worker, and we'll be at the diner at 4 a.m. and he's like, I gotta go to work. I start at 6. You know.
Right, and we were all young. I mean, we were all young.
Yeah.
You know, and we all worked so well together. It was unbelievable how everyone just gelled.
Yeah, people. I mean, I get the sense that that's the closest. Like, you guys had like that. You got like each of you guys would never be able to replicate that on another show, like what you had there.
No, and you got to look at the crew. I mean, Baltimore is not a very big film or television market. I mean, we all came up together even before The Wire. You know, we just, you know, had everybody's phone number and everybody's back, and you know, it was like, you know, my daughter's going to film school, but that was like film school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the shit they don't teach you in a book.
Right.
It was just great. It was great. And you mentioned Perry Blackman.
Yeah, we had him on. Yeah,
dude, we tore it up. Me and P, I'm telling you, we hung out every weekend. We ran hard. Great dude. You know, we were so close. We still keep in touch, of course. You know, brothers do, but you know, brothers don't call each other every week. You know, it's like every 6 months. Yo, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Need anything? You call me. You know what I mean? That kind of conversation. But him and the whole crew that he brought, you know, I would hang out with them probably more than anybody else.
Did you guys ever hang out at that bar that like you filmed most of the bar scenes from?
Whatever bar it is, yes.
Okay.
Which one are you talking about, though?
The one that you know.
McNulty's getting kicked out of that McNulty to last drink, Jimmy. That
well, I think so. Well, I'm talking. Is that the same one that has where the dock workers drink at?
He's talking about with what's her name?
With
Doris.
the duck on the
with the duck.
Yeah.
I never hung out at that one.
Okay.
I never hung out there. No.
Was that a real bar? Was that a real bar?
Yeah, that was a real bar.
Huh. I wonder if they knew the
waterfront. It was the waterfront where White Mike appears first.
Okay.
their go-to bar, that was right in the neighborhood, right in Fells Point. And,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's where we ran. We ran around in Fells Point.
They probably love that. I mean, that probably brought in. I mean, just in Baltimore in general, all the all the money and the attention it brings in too.
Well, it's like
Uh,
any film, it's not just, a Hollywood based type thing.
right.
We all bought homes, got married, paid taxes. The
Mm.
lumber yards were happy with us, the hotels, the rental car companies. I mean, it's just top to bottom. It's a big economic boost for any city to have film and television in it.
Oh, also, and yeah, absolutely, and also just like in terms of adding to like the cultural whatever, like the zeitgeist or whatever, The Wire brought in more like impact into the city of Baltimore that I think like any show or movie in terms of a city, because it's like you ask so many people, like me and Jesse and
Yeah.
Leland talk about this, like if you bring up to so many people like, oh, I went to Baltimore, they'll ask you like, oh, hey, did you watch The Wire? Like it just has that natural connection that I don't think I've ever seen in like a TV show before. It's kind
It's definitely part of Baltimore's identity.
Mhm.
It's like the Ravens, the Orioles, the Wire.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like become a staple. Almost like the
Yeah.
only one I could think of really that like comes somewhat close is like Rocky to Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because they even have like the statue and everything.
Yeah.
But in terms of TV shows, I definitely say The Wire.
It would be
Yeah, well,
great
the
to
David
have us.
Simon said it was his love letter to Baltimore, right? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. David doesn't pull any punches either. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But it would be great if there was an Omar statue
That
in
would be
Yeah,
Baltimore with his gun out, in the trench coat. That would just be
that'd be awesome.
great. Yeah, never get away with it, but that would be dope.
No,
You know,
Mayor John, isn't that the Mayor Brandon Johnson? I think the guy's name is.
Brain is something.
Yeah,
He's doing good though. The city's cleaning up. I
yeah.
go home at least twice a year, and I still call it home. I've been
Mhm.
in New Orleans for 17 years, but um, I'm still a Hun. You know what I mean? As we say. But it's definitely, the vibe has changed. I mean, it got a little rough in the 90s. It was like, damn, it was straight up the wire. But it got a little bad again, and with all the urban flight and everything happening. But when I go home, it's a new vibe. You know what I mean?
How do
It's
you?
clean and safe. It makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of like Brooklyn now too. I mean, that's the way a
Yes.
lot of people talk about Brooklyn, as I'm sure Jesse can relate to. It's like you go to the cities, like to people that grew up there in the '90s. It's like unrecognizable at this point.
Yeah, but Jesse, I love Brooklyn. I love
Yeah.
it. Always have. My
Oh
sister
yeah,
lives up there. I love Brooklyn.
yeah.
Where
Brooklyn's
do you
Brooklyn.
live
great.
now, Brooke?
I live in New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been
Um.
here. Been here for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if you listen to rap music. You strike me as you do.
White
But
Mike. Yeah, yeah. I was just listening. I had to turn down DMX when this started.
so there's this rapper Skills who does the yearly wrap up, and
Yeah.
do you know? And then it mentioned he goes, and I forgot what year it was, but he's like, I can't believe Stringer got killed. I've been to be more. Trust me, The Wire is real. So The Wire's made a couple of his yearly wrap ups. So
Uh-huh.
he also did 5 seasons in 5 minutes, where he wraps up 5 seasons of The Wire in 5 minutes. I don't know if you
Oh,
ever heard it.
dude.
Yeah, I'll send it to you after this episode.
Yeah,
It's
please,
it's
please.
really cool. And
Yeah.
I was wondering if you ever heard like those shout outs and stuff to like
I've heard them, and I've heard. I don't know if it's that song and that artist, but I've definitely heard shout outs to The Wire in a lot of stuff.
yeah, it's featured a lot in pop culture
Oh
actually.
yeah,
Family Guy, iCarly. My favorite one is iCarly. Um,
yeah.
your daughter must have been watching iCarly.
Yeah.
It's like a kid show too. It's the
Yeah.
most random thing to reference.
Yeah. They're doing like a spitball, and then she's about to spitball Gibby, and Gibby goes, "How my hair looks, Sam?" She's like, you
Oh
look good,
yeah.
Gib." Yeah. So
Well,
that,
even in like Spike Lee movies, a lot of time he's obviously a huge Wire fan, so he'll like intentionally reference the show. Like I saw in Black Klansman, they had Isaiah Whitlock Jr. who played Clay Davis, and he makes he goes like shit like in the
Shit.
you know what I mean? So
I do it all the time. All my friends do. You
yeah.
know, she.
Yeah, that
I
was
do that
awesome.
whenever I'm in traffic. Whenever I see a big it just like feels right at that moment. I go shit as soon as
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get a how is it when you said you think you got sinners because of the Wire? Do you do other film people in the film world consider that like the best of the best?
Yes,
Yeah,
straight up,
yeah.
they
Like
do.
do you get asked when you meet them and stuff? Do they ask you like how was your experience and stuff? Do they pick your brain a little?
No, because I'm usually gigging on a new show. You know what I mean? And it's like in the moment kind of thing. But
Mhm.
I just did this show called Motion with Tiffany Haddish and Master P in it.
Mm.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, and the director for that worked on Homicide: Life on the Street.
Mhm.
And I tell you, like being from Baltimore, and being up in the Wire and Homicide and all the things, I really think that helped a lot, because I was just going to do the guns. They're like, no, can you prop it? So I read
Mm.
the script, and I was like, okay, let me see. It's a lot of guns, a lot of drugs, and a lot of money. Okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
we.
I have experience with that.
I think
yeah,
Bob Spore said propping propping money is always a little difficult.
yeah. It's hard. On this one, we had it like flying through the air and getting covered in blood, and all the things. It
Mm.
was a big ass movie.
I know Leland always brings up like when Prop Joe gave Nikki 2,800. He's like, that's not 20. That just kind of killed him.
Yeah, one of the first things I do when they say $1 million, I have a prop shop too called Mobtown Prop Rentals. And
Yeah.
when the director comes in, I lay out $1 million.
Mm.
I'm like, this is the way it really looks, in 20s and hundreds, and
Oh,
because
that's
everyone
awesome.
thinks, oh, I want a duffel bag full of money, like $1 million. I'm like, you want ones?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It's because it
That
looks more like I think it's like to trick the eye. Like I think that's what they think. Like oh,
yeah,
if it's more dollars, it looks like it's more, even though it wouldn't actually be that much.
yeah. See,
now
Um.
are you guys? I'm
Bob
sorry.
Spore's another one. Like,
Yeah.
we text each other all the time. I saw him last couple times I went to Baltimore. It's good people. Those relationships on the Wire really, really have stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because everybody changes. I mean, dude, it was so long ago, but um, a lot of us still keep in touch.
Yeah, we had Jeffrey Pratt Gordon on. We just had Teddy Kanaz, where he played Double G, and that was his first experience like acting on set. Which he said you guys made kind of comfortable for him. Why do you think that it got overlooked by the Emmys? Do you think there's a race issue there, or?
There's a race and a location issue, most likely. I mean, we weren't a Hollywood movie. We weren't a Hollywood TV show. And I think it gained a lot of popularity after it aired.
Mhm.
It's a word of mouth show. But we all know it was definitely good enough.
Yeah. Well, also back then, there wasn't as much exposure for anything because obviously this is before the social media age. Nowadays, there's so much information out there. You have IMDb, you have all this different stuff. So it's like it's hard for any show to like any show you want. All the information is there, but it's like back in the day, and I'm saying back in like 2000s. Like if you wanted to find out a show, you'd have to like read about it on the TV guide, or it would have to just be spread through word of mouth, so there was like less of a chance for people to really like have like understand. Like nowadays I'm sure people would it would get like all I wonder, do you think it would get all this attention right off the bat, or do you think like if The Wire came out today it would be kind of like
I
uh,
think it would start getting attention right after episode 4,
yeah.
when people started talking. But back then you couldn't really stream. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? It was none of that. So it would be like, people would just watch it over and over and tell people, and then they, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a whole different ball game right now.
Also, a lot of people didn't have HBO. I remember,
No.
it was much less accessible. It was much more expensive now than it was now.
In the
Now it's like,
neighborhoods we shot in, they didn't even have cable.
right.
I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah, and that's one of the things that makes it difficult for people to access
Right.
it. There's all that coming.
Season 5 did good ratings wise. No or no?
I think it got better as it progressed. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, forgive me for this. I did watch a couple of the bootleg episodes a week before they came out. How did bootlegs for like The Wire? Because you couldn't hear of like a bootleg for Sopranos, and trust me, I would have loved one after like Adriana and stuff.
Are you talking about the bootleg, like the DVDs, like?
No, I'm talking about like if there was like torrent websites that like you
Oh,
could go to and
like the
watch
Pirate
the episode
Bay.
before. Yeah. So
Yeah, I remember that.
sorry if I'm breaking this news to you, bro. I don't know.
Oh,
if you guys, I
We're
don't know
really
if you guys-
dating ourselves with these references here.
Right.
I don't know if you guys knew about this stuff, but I was gonna say like, how does
I
leaks
do.
like that happen and stuff? Those the like to HBO show, episode, just
People put it out there.
yeah.
I'm so old. We used to do cassette tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And burn, not even burn, but just do VCR tapes and pass them around. And,
Yeah.
and there'd be somebody in the movie theater with a camcorder, and you wind up buying that tape on the street.
Yeah.
It's just something that always happens.
Right.
Especially when the show's more, as it gets more popular and people want to see it. I mean, people are making money doing that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
I kind of like the idea that one thing that is great about The Wire and a lot of shows like that is that it is one episode at a time, and there was that wait. It creates that like anticipation of building up. Like I like good binges but as much as the next person. But there is something to be said about like you watch an episode and like the whole week you're just like I gotta figure this out. Then you talk
Yeah.
about it with your friends and it kind of like brings people together in a way that's like I don't know. I think that's like television at its best, right? It kind of
We would
brings
get
that
excited
connection.
as the crew when it aired.
Mhm.
It would be so great every week just to be like, oh fuck, The Wire's on, let's watch it together and
Yeah.
do all the things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'd
No,
have
I
people
agree with
come-
that.
Yeah, the people would like come together and everything. And getting back to what Jesse said with the bootlegging, it is like people still do that. Surprisingly, there was the new Avengers movie. There was a trailer that got released from while the new Avatar movies in theaters, and like somebody uploaded it to the internet, and like they're trying really hard to scrub it. So there is always going to be that
Yeah.
desire to see something before it happens.
Oh, right.
Have you ever
Absolutely.
had like a desire to work on like a big like superhero or comic book thing?
As long as the check's clear, I'll work
Yeah.
on it.
Is Sinners the biggest movie you've worked on?
Like budget wise?
At the time, yeah. But they all go up over and over time. Right now, Five Nights at Freddy 2 is out.
All right.
And I was honored enough to do the weapons on that.
Nice.
I just do it. Budgets of movies only affect my budget that I can get more stuff to show on film or do whatever, make my life easier. But I'm from Baltimore, so I'll still dumpster dive. I'll still do the thing. You know what I mean?
I feel like having a smaller budget almost makes it more of like there's like an excitement to that, because I love like all movies and sometimes it's nice when you see a movie that's like very inexpensive and they use stuff that's like you kind of see how they did it behind the scenes. You know what I mean? There's like a wholesomeness to that.
Yeah, movie magic is still awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, like me and Jack talk about Kids a couple times because Leo Fitzpatrick was on in the movie Kids, and like that probably had like little to no budget, and it was something like, or like Kevin Smith, he made Clerks off
Yeah.
of just credit cards, and it's
Yeah.
something.
Kids, they didn't even have. Sorry to cut you up, but I just say kids, they didn't even have like permits. They just filmed the actors walking through the streets just to.
Oh yeah, I know, right? That's crazy. And then like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think their pilot episode they just shot it like they didn't like no budget.
Mm.
So it's kind of that there is something kind of cool about that, like a no budget. I mean, I'm sure the crew would want to get paid more, but I understand
Right.
what you mean about like the
But
movie.
when there's nothing to lose, a lot of magic happens there. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like everybody's talking about AI and all this kind of stuff with AI, but if you look at the history of film, you know, most of those taglines or the real famous lines that we're all familiar with are all ad-libbed. You
Hmm.
can't get that with AI. You can't get that rapport. You can't let like a script like just be the basis of your film and let it blossom when the cast comes in and does everything. So um, I don't think it's going to fly. I mean, they're going to do it, but hopefully, I can tell when things aren't real,
Hmm.
and like I think that the normal viewer is like, well, that looks fake and couldn't point it out. But I always am like, oh, well, that's fake.
Hmm.
That blood is not real. There's no shadows and like just the things, you know.
That's a great point. I also agree that I don't think it will ever really replace that because like we're talking about like clerks and kids, you don't need a budget as long as you have something to say and a story to tell. And AI is just a machine. It doesn't have
Yeah,
anything new to say, only existing things that's just been plugged into its
yeah. It
algorithm.
got no soul, you know.
Right. You
And you're
know.
transmitting soul on film. That's the job that you try to do as a filmmaker or crew,
Mm.
whatever. The whole thing is about telling that story, having that roller coaster ride, and having somebody in the audience like be like, yeah, I see life that way,
Mm.
and I can relate to that character. I can relate to that storyline. I grew up that way, or just the opposite. Like I've never been in that room, so now the director takes you into that room. I mean, it's dope. I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh yeah, and that's the best storytelling is when you can relate to characters that, like Sinners. I haven't lived in the South and fought vampires for a really long time, but I related to the character because of like his struggle to find his own identity and everything. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that kind of stuff, yeah. But I mean, do you think it has any like positive applications in terms of like, let's say you need to like manage a budget, or you could just say like, hey, run me down like a list of store. Do you think like AI or ChatGPT can have any just like logistical purposes, not in the creative sense, more just like as an assistant, you think?
I think it can, but it would be hard for me to use it to create art in any
Right.
form. I'm a hands-on kind of person.
Hmm.
Back to that thrift store when we were doing the wire, like I like to show up, keep my boots on, shake hands, meet people, have relationships. If they give me, oh, well, these are the four stores that are located and they're all big box stores, it's,
It's not going to be the same.
no. And then everyone has the same shit.
Yeah, it's a good point. You have to like go out into the play, because you want something that'll look your own,
And I love research.
Mm.
I consider myself like a little bit of a method prop master. Like I start living the characters and like really start to even when it comes to weapons, like everything. Billy Friedkin, the late great Billy Friedkin, the director, said, look, where this prop comes from and where's it going, like this is part of the story. They're pivotal, and they
Mm.
could be the smallest things and then blow up at the end, or it's all important. It's like painting a room. The crew, we do the trim, but if you walk into the room and the trim's not done, you're like, this room looks like shit. But if
Right.
it's done, then it's tight. You know what I mean? Like he can't. That's what we do. We frame it out for the director's vision.
And bringing back to the wire, what you're saying just kind of fits how that because all the rooms always felt lived in. I always say because they felt like they weren't perfectly cleaned up and neat. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I see a movie and I'm like, everything is too clean, and you could tell it's just used. But The Wire, everyone's apartment, like it just felt like you could just tell there's so much like hours of research, just putting certain like pictures on the fridge or just random stuff to make it feel like more believable and everything.
Yeah, and Vincent Perenio was a production designer, and he's just like a freaking genius.
Mm.
You know, and it was the down and dirty stuff. You know, like if you're in the alley and there's no weeds, just grab a hunk of grass and shove it underneath the drain pipe and throw trash everywhere. And like, I like doing that. You know, I still like doing that, making it real. You know,
Right.
I talked to Vince on Facebook, so hopefully we'll have him on in January.
That'd be
And
awesome.
Jeffrey Pratt Gordon told us, like, you know, he was cleaning up trash, and like Vince is like, honey, this is not Disney. I just found that funny.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I love both of those guys. Vince Perenio brought me in right out of high school to work at his company, Props and Sets, and taught me the craft. And Jeff Gordon and I, we were best friends kind of stuff, talked this week. You know what I mean? Jeff and I keep in touch big time.
nice. Yeah, we are. How often do you watch The Wire? If
Shit.
you've been like a
See, there it is. There it is.
Is that on purpose? Did you?
No, it wasn't. I haven't seen The Wire in a minute.
No?
Okay, but did you do a couple of rewatches of it, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who's what's a favorite scene that you're in, and what is like a favorite standout scene for you of just blown away by the acting in it?
I like when I get arrested.
That's cool.
I just liked when I got arrested because that was all ad-libbed and they beat shit out of me. And, you know what I mean? It was fun. They got shit on me, you know, all that stuff.
Do you feel like your character deserved it too? Like, were you a fan of White Mike at like when you were playing him, or did you think like, oh, this guy's a dirtbag?
Oh, I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like that he gave up everybody for 2 hot dogs and a strawberry soda. You know, I would go to Lexington Market, you know, when before I did that scene, I go to Lexington Market and everybody would like be cool and like give me stuff and like, oh fuck, White Mike, and then when I did that, it'd be like, White Mike's a bitch. I'd be like, oh fuck, man, it's TV. You know,
it's like $25 or if that. Like, that's.
It's hard to put anything on my favorite scenes, but when Omar's walking down the street, whistling, carrying that shotgun, it's just iconic. I mean, that's just like that. When I hear about The Wire or think about The Wire, I think about him walking down those alleyways in Baltimore.
He's like whistling "The Saints Go Marching In" or something like that.
It was
The Farmer in the Dell.
The Farmer in the Dell.
Yeah.
And scaring the shit out of everybody. You know, when I love that. I really liked his character. You know, it was like a Robin Hood, Boondock Saints kind of character.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's such a contrast because he sings that song that everyone just like, you know, associates like a happy song, and it's like it's terrifying though. It's
straight up horror movie stuff. Back to horror movies. You know what I mean? Like nursery rhymes are freaky. You know?
Bring it back to Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Right. Yeah. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. You know.
Yeah.
There's something about that. I guess it's like just it's the out of placeness of like that just makes people like kind of eerie about it.
Yeah, there's a certain creepiness to it. Yeah.
But yeah, in that scene, everyone's like running away from, you know, just like like a horror film. Like
Loved it.
So what did White Mike think about Nick Sabaka flipping on him? Nick ratted out.
Sabaka's a bitch.
Do you think White Mike had any bodies on him?
Oh yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I kind of thought I would think that too. I would think that White Mike might have a body or two. I wouldn't think that Frog does. You know what I mean?
I don't think
Frog's a poser.
Yeah, I don't think Frog does, but White Mike definitely did, for sure.
Yeah. So when you got the White Mike character, did you like kind of like you just said, like you like you kind of said that with confidence, like yeah, he had bodies on him. Did you kind of give yourself a background for White Mike stuff that you didn't like? This guy this guy's done this. This guy has this kind of pass. You know.
Not really. I just referred to the neighborhood and running in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, you know, you got to survive in Baltimore. You know, especially then. You know, the streets were very hot and heavy. So I just was hanging out with Perry, you know, and doing the damn thing, really, you know.
When we had Amanda on, she said that she would always bleed Baltimore, but she believes like if she would have been there, it would be the death of her. Like if she would have stayed there.
Me too.
Yeah. When did you move away?
There's no doubt in my mind. Even before The Wire, you know, I ran with a bunch of guys. You know, there's a photograph of 4 of us, and I think we're in high school. I'm the last man standing.
Oh wow!
At this point, you know what I mean? It's there's. I had to get out, you know. But even when you get out, you still, wherever you go, there you are. You know, you follow yourself, so you gotta keep growing and doing the thing. But I'm very grateful to be alive, honestly, you know. And I'm blessed that I get to make movies every day, you know, or represent the crew who makes movies and fight for them. You know, and my family's with me, Amanda, Greer, my mom's, you know, I look around and I'm like, damn, you know, just,
I know
damn.
it was kind of a culture shock for some people. Like Alonzo Wilson, like told us that we had Alonzo on, and he kind of told us like, he was like, I'm gonna go check out the neighborhood, and they're like, not by yourself. Like Perry has to walk with you.
Right.
And like Bob Spore told us it was kind of a culture shock to him, like because you guys were shooting like right, like Maestro from season 4 kind of said like, you know, like you guys were in the hood, like, you know, they went to drop off an actor and they were like, they live in the hood, like you guys were like in the hood there, right, in the shooting area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When did you move from Baltimore? I was curious.
I moved to LA when I was like 21.
Okay.
I came back maybe when I was 25 to do Homicide. Stuck around there for a minute. I went up to Boston, did jobs in New York, Philadelphia. But I've been in New Orleans for like 17 years, and you know, New Orleans was never on my list of like, oh man, I want to move to New Orleans or I want to go. It just wasn't. But I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
love
is a
down
great
here.
city. It's
Baltimore and New Orleans have soul.
Yes.
You know, when I was in LA, no, you know, New York too big. I love Brooklyn, especially back in the day.
What about Philadelphia?
Philly was cool, you know, West Philly, you know, it was okay. But, you know, there's that Baltimore rivalry, you know, so I can't like it too much.
Right.
Yeah.
God knows I can't like DC at all.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
But no,
like the Nationals or, you know.
Yeah, all that. No, I'm settled here, you know, until the next thing. You know, my daughter's in college now, but I have a lot of responsibility with the union and you know, representing, doing what I need to do, I think.
So being a union worker, do you kind of like get the, I don't know if you, maybe you should give season 2 a rewatch now, or I don't know if you watched it while you were like president of the union. Do you see like, get a lot of the language even more so like that Frank and them were talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But back then I was a union member, so I understood it. And I've been, you know, a student of labor ever since I was a kid. I mean, my grandfather was in the musicians local. So I consider growing up in a labor friendly family. So I've always known what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that blue collar family. I told people like if you know, I was I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober 4 years. You know, me and Bob share that in common, that we're both in recovery. But we're like I used to go, oh, nice, congratulations. So me and Bob used to go. Me and Bob. So me and Bob were talking about it and stuff, right? And I was like, you know, I find that scene so funny in season 2 because of the like of they're like, who's drinking at 8 in the morning? Meanwhile, they're all drunk. They had food already, you know, and I used to
Right.
know, I used to know the bars in Long Island. I used to open at 9 in the morning. Only difference, I was in a union work. I used to wake up and go to the bar, you know. But you're drinking with all these union guys, right? And it's
And then you
so
go operate heavy machinery all day.
Right.
that's what it is. But it's so true, right? It's so true to like nature, and I think that's what we all love about The Wire, is like how true it is. You know, it was like this did happen every day, and even those jokes of like, who the hell's drinking at 8 in the morning? Meanwhile, like I used to be at the bar seeing these guys drink, so I just thought that was all like they nailed
Back
that.
in the day, it'd be like, what do you mean? Who's not drinking at 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't trust this guy. Let's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I you know, up to a few years ago, I would always find a reason to, right? Oh, Mets opening day? Yeah, you got to drink out early in the morning to go see a baseball game at
Oh,
12
the sun's out. I'm drinking. Oh, it's raining. I'm drinking.
Yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
whatever, you know.
If it's a good day or a bad day, it's just you needed a reason, right?
Yeah.
How long have you so Jesse, you've been sober for 4 years now, same with Bob and
No, Bob's been sober like 28 years.
20,
28, I'm
yes.
sorry. So
That must
and
have been difficult. I'm sorry, Jack, to cut, but
no, go.
that must have just been difficult for Bob to be there around all that partying, because he was sober that whole time on The Wire.
Yeah, but now guys like you and I are around. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm still in the film business.
Right.
It's true.
People
It's true.
people still do the thing on, you know, to get by, I should
That's
say.
a good point. That's a good point.
And then there's rap parties and everything, you know.
Brooke, how
Yeah,
long
that's
have
a
you
good
been
point.
sober for?
4 years.
Excellent, sir.
All right,
Yeah.
Jess.
Oh, we got similar days.
Yeah.
I'm in July of 2021.
November 11th.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, and so that was and I think and I'm not blowing his anonymity because he wrote it on Twitter, but Andre Royo said that he's 4 years sober.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
there's nothing more punk rock than being sober in New Orleans.
Yeah.
When somebody told me that, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck everybody. I've always been that guy. I'm like, yeah, I'll own that.
Yeah.
The temptation is strong. I mean, you know, I remember I was only in New Orleans for like a week, but I remember one thing that was unique was that you get beer to go. I was like, I've never been in a place where you could just order a beer from a bar and then just walk around town.
They have drive-through daiquiri stands where you drive through and get grain alcohol that tastes like cherries and shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
Drive through.
Oh. So you hear that, Kathy Hochul? We need to make a. No, I'm kidding. But that sounds. That's yeah. So it's the temptation is really strong. How do you, if you don't mind me asking, like when that I'm sure with the rap parties and alcohol being a constant presence, how do you have like mantras, or like how do you maintain that sober consistency with when facing
At
those
this
situations?
point, I've been lifted of the desire to indulge in any of those things, but I am true to what they say. You know, read the big book, do the 12 steps, get yourself sponsored, do some service work. So when I feel myself acting up in my head, I hit a meeting or I go help somebody. You know, I own it. You know, I refuse to be anonymous. And I said that at an open meeting in my union hall. And that's the way it is.
That's awesome. Yeah, it says in the big book, you know, we shouldn't be shielded from life things. You know, I think that's what people outside of the program kind of like don't realize, is kind of like, you know, we can't live in fear of drinking.
Yeah.
It's an everyday thing. You know what I mean? We should, if there's a good reason for an AA or to be at a bar or whatever, or at a place with alcohol, then they should be there. They shouldn't run away from it.
Right.
That doesn't mean you should just go into a bar and just hang out, but like, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But
see, I know the way my movie ends if I take that first drink.
Yeah.
Right.
I know the way my movie ends. You know, it ends like a lot of people who we were talking about earlier in this blog here. You know, about the people who I grew up with, the people who I've worked with, all the things. Yeah, I get a daily reprieve, you know, and going back to what I was talking about being grateful, bro. 5 years ago, I was not grateful.
Yeah.
And today, I am very grateful to have this opportunity to talk to you guys, to make movies, to be the president of this local, to have this rotten bulldog. Hey, trying to dig up in the trash.
Found some
My
treat
whole life's different. It's great. I think that a lot of people should have I think that a 12-step program should be mandatory for a lot of people, and the world would just be a better place.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. So Brooke, man, thank you for coming on, man. You know, I just
Thank you, sir.
I got my last question for you and Jackie. I don't know if you have a question, but can we work out some kind of signal when you're on that Academy Award stage that you give us the Wiretapped? Like,
I get kit rentals. I don't get awards.
But if the movie wins Best Award, don't everybody, aren't you up there? Oh, you're not.
No. Producers and directors. And,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'll be around because
you'll be in attendance. Yeah.
There's a lot of technical awards that it's also up for, like special effects and all the things.
What's award season now? So there's like 50.
Is there anything in your category that you could get awarded?
No.
Or? Okay.
No. We fall under the art department.
Yeah.
In the category, but the Property Masters Guild has been fighting to get the recognition through the Academy of Arts and Sciences, and they give out their own awards, and you know what I mean. We're behind the scenes, just the way I like it.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. It is award season, so I still have to watch all. I don't know. Have you seen anything? I just watched the Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, with Oscar Isaac, which I loved. Have you seen anything recently?
That's in my queue. I'm going to check that out. No, I really haven't started to take that dive yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Same.
But I like watching the same movie a couple times, one for technical and then the other just as a ride, because I kind of like start looking behind the actors and at the lighting and the camera moves. And then, but then, you know, after I'm over that, I can kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that from two different perspectives of the viewer and the person working.
Yeah, I have to.
Sure.
I think my best performance of all time is still Brendan Fraser for The Whale. When I saw that, I was like,
great.
This guy's getting the Oscar, man. I was like,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, I did. No, he was really good. I did like who else was running that? I think Colin Farrell ran for that Banshees of Inisherin.
That was a good movie too.
That was great. So sad, and like depressed, but it was a great film. And then the big one besides Sinners, of course, is One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio, which everyone keeps talking about.
Well, here's the prediction: Sinners.
Okay.
Best picture of the year. It's going to take it home.
Hell yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. And Michael B. Jordan, I would be surprised if he doesn't get a Best Actor nomination.
Dude,
yeah, he'll get nominated.
Yeah, he will. Before that show came out, theaters were dying. I mean, they really give a lot of credit to Sinners, bringing people back in the theater.
Yeah,
because that's definitely a movie that you want to experience with a group of strangers in a dark room. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, it's true.
You want to see it on the biggest screen.
Yeah, 70 millimeter was fucking awesome. But I had to watch that a few times. There's so much going on in it. It's visually just overwhelming. It's great.
Oh yeah, they should absolutely.
Really proud of that.
It's a phenomenal movie. They should absolutely bring it back. They probably will bring it back into theaters for like when the Oscars start to come around, you know, because they usually do that.
Yeah, it's got legs. It was playing down here for Halloween. You know,
Oh, it's
sometimes it
amazing.
pops up here and there. You know,
Mhm.
I hope, you know, if I'm dreaming right now, I'm hoping for Sinners 2 and 3 to be shot in New Orleans.
Oh, that'll be
Shit.
awesome.
Okay.
Oh, that would be just
That would
awesome.
be fantastic. Yeah, especially, you know, I actually didn't even know that they were planning on the Sinners 2 and 3.
They're not, but
But if they
things
do,
happen.
they do.
I can
It
see
makes
it.
enough money. You know, they're like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, it made the money.
Yeah.
You
If
know.
Ryan Coogler has the idea, then for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Brooke, we're out of here, brother. Thank you for coming
All
on,
right.
man. We're not gonna take up much of your time. I appreciate you. Appreciate getting to know about the behind the scenes about you as White Mike. We love the show, man. If you could just give us a shout out, whenever you can. We appreciate
Same.
you.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
could just say one time for us, we do ask if you could just say, please like, share, and subscribe to Wiretapped Truths. That'd be
Please,
awesome.
please like, share, and subscribe to Wiretapped Truths.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, Brooke. Have a great
Hey,
weekend. Happy
gentlemen.
holidays.
All right. Be safe. Peace.